back, everybody. Hope you guys all had a great Christmas and you're looking forward to improving your golf game in 2026. So today we're going to close out the series and we're going to talk about attack angle, and this is the third and final component or element that I like to use when I'm focusing in on hitting the golf ball. If you guys want to know the difference between an elite ball striker and a poor one, then this video is for you, because we're going to be focusing in on attack angle, and this is one of the three elements that the PGA Tour professionals use to dictate how they're going to hit the ball. So the best strikers in the world don't guess when they're hitting the ball. They try their best to control or manipulate the three variables, which is club path, club face angle, and attack angle. And they try to do this intentionally over and over again under pressure. So today we're going to focus in on what the club head is doing when you're coming into the ball with your attack angle, and how we can manage attack angle in order to produce various shot shapes. So the first thing we need to know is what actually is your attack angle. And your attack angle is very simple. It's either how much you're hitting down on the golf ball or how much you're hitting up on it, okay? Whenever the ball is on the ground, you're hitting down on it every single time with every single club, including your 3 and your 5 wood. Your driver is the only club in the bag where you'll be hitting up on the golf ball. All you're focusing in on is whether or not your club head is going down into the ball or up into the ball on the arc. So when you look at the best ball strikers on tour, they are masters of controlling their attack angle through the golf ball. You're probably asking yourself, why is this so important? The reason it's so important is because it controls how the ball is going to fly in the air. It controls launch conditions, spin rates, distance consistency, turf interactions, and the ability to hit the ball higher and lower in the air. And probably the most important thing that you have to remember is attack angle pushes your club path out to the right or to the left based on how much you're hitting down on the golf ball or how much you're hitting up on it. Elite ball strikers are trying to deliver the club at specific angles in order to control their flight. This is why you see guys hitting various shot shapes on the PGA Tour, and what they're doing, one of the aspects that they're controlling is their angle of attack. Controlling their angle of attack gives themselves a huge advantage when it comes to striking and how far the ball is going. This helps manage their distance control when they're going from shot to shot. So now let's talk about your irons and why it's so important to hit down on the golf ball with your irons. You do anyways, everybody does. Even poor strikers will hit down on the golf ball with their irons because the ball is on the ground, but we're going to dive into what you need to do in order to hit the ball more consistent with your iron shots. So when we're hitting our irons, the first thing we have to understand is that we're hitting down on the golf ball. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the club head to make impact with the ball first, and then the club head will dig through the turf and you can go into your nice full release finish. The best ball strikers on tour know instinctively that the club head needs to hit the ball first, and then it can sink into the ground a little bit, take that nice divot, and be able to come up and out of it into their full release finish. And this is what gives them that nice compressed strike. So what ends up happening here is that if the club head bottoms out too early, you're going to hit the ball fat. The club head's going to sink into the ground, the ball's going to go nowhere, and this is probably the worst shot that you can hit in golf because you're not advancing the ball very far. And the opposite can be said for when you're coming in with the club head and you're bottoming out too late. What ends up happening in this situation is that the club head will hit the top side of the ball and you'll hit it thin and it'll sting off the face nice and low and go forever, but you won't have any control of it. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get this club head to match up at the bottom, hitting down on it, making impact with the ball first, and then you let the club dig smoothly through the ground going into your finish. So if a PGA Tour player is trying to hit a draw shot with their irons, one of the things they know instinctively is that they do have to hit down on the golf ball, and hitting down on the golf ball actually pushes the path out to the right. So if you come in with a neutral club path that's swinging around your body in a neutral arc, and you hit down on it, you're going to be pushing that path out to the right. So all you need to do is make sure that the face angle is pretty square to your target line, and if you just hit down on it, it's going to draw to the left for a right-handed player and to the right for a left-handed player. Let me just show you one here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm just going to keep a neutral path and let the club do the work for me, keeping a nice square face to the target. And if I come in with a neutral path, hitting down on this, the ball will draw to the left. Boom. And as you guys can see, I started the ball directly down my target line. That means the face was square and it drew slightly to the left. So all I did there was I just hit down on it a little bit more, pushed the path out to the right. I kept a square club face and I let the club head do the work for me. Really simple, guys. This is something that you can simplify and have great success with as long as you understand the principles of attack angle. So if I want to hit a fade with my irons and I know that I'm hitting down on it, these are the principles that I follow in order to do that. So what I'll do in this particular shot is, first thing, I'll move the ball position a little bit forward in my stance, just off my left pec muscle. I want to get the path of the club traveling to the left. I know I'm hitting down on it, so it's going to push the path a little bit more out to the right. So my thought process when it comes to attack angle on this particular shot is I actually don't want to hit down on it too much. You are going to hit down on it some, but just a few degrees, and that will manage my club path a little bit better. It'll make it easier for me to swing it to the left while putting fade spin on it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I line up, ball position's a little forward. I'm trying to minimize how much I'm hitting down on this particular shot because this will help me manage the club path. And then I keep my face square to my target line, and hopefully I'll hit a nice big fade here for you. And there you go. So this is very important. I kept the angle of attack a little bit more shallow. I started the ball directly down my target line, and the ball faded to the right. So this is all about managing your attack angle. If I were to hit down on that ball too much, what would end up happening is that I would push the path too far to the right, and that ball would have started left and probably would have kept going left. It would have been a straight left shot, or what you would call just a straight pull. So very important to understand, guys, when you're trying to hit a cut and you're hitting down on it, you really got to manage your angle of attack. You got to shallow it out a little bit more, almost like a pick, and that will help you manage the attack angle as you come down into the ball, and it'll make it way easier for you to hit a cut shot when you really need to on the course. So now I just want to talk about flipping the script a little bit and what you have to do with your driver, because your driver is the only club in your bag where you're going to be hitting up on the golf ball. The main reason why we have to hit up with the driver is because when you hit up, you're going to do a few things. You're going to maximize your launch. The ball is going to be launching in a higher angle. You're going to reduce the spin rate on the golf ball, so it's going to carry further with less drag in the air. And then because of that reduced spin, it's going to hit the ground and it's going to roll out a bunch. Hitting up on the golf ball is one of the major reasons why you can see guys with slower swing speeds out-driving people with faster swing speeds. And a lot of the time it's because their club head and how they're hitting up first down on the golf ball is affecting their flight. So a guy with a higher speed might be hitting down on it a little bit more and might not have his club set up for him properly, and it might be increasing his spin rate. And you'll see a guy that's swinging the club 5 miles an hour slower, and the ball will end up past that person's drive because they've maximized their carry and their spin rates, and the ball hits the ground and rolls out a bunch. So you end up out driving a person who has a faster club head speed than you. And this is how the best drivers on the tour, a lot of them, they maximize their spin numbers and their launch angles, and they're not necessarily swinging harder at the golf ball because there is a proponent to staying in balance through your shot. You don't have to be in perfect balance, that's not what I'm saying, but you do have to make sure that you have enough coordination and stability to hit the ball in the center of the face all the time. So guys with slower swing speeds will end up improving their efficiency by coming through the ball with an upward attack angle, and it's going to reduce their spin, increase their launch, and increase their drives by 20 to 30 yards sometimes, first when you're hitting down on the golf ball. You don't see a whole lot of guys hitting down on the golf ball anymore on the PGA Tour. I know the average used to be down, but as we've seen through technology, hitting up on the golf ball a number of degrees is the best way to improve your driving efficiency. And I just want to make a point that most amateurs are trying to control their attack angle with their body parts. They're thinking from an internal focus perspective, and this is so bad for your golf game. It's not going to get you anywhere, and you're just going to be spinning your circles over and over and over again, trying to figure out what you need to do in order to hit the ball with an upward attack angle with the driver. You don't need to think about your body parts. You need to focus purely on the club head. And finally, I just want to say that controlling your attack angle isn't a choice. It's a requirement that you need to learn in order to play your best golf, because you're going to need to be able to hit up on the golf ball with the driver and hit down on the golf ball a number of degrees with various clubs. So it is super important that you learn how to control your attack angle. That's what's going to make you more efficient as a golfer. And if you guys want to learn how to control the club and master your golf game without worrying about your body and overcomplicating everything, go to www.externalfocusgolf.com. I believe that my content is the best content around, and you're going to be able to maximize your golf game, have more fun out there, and shoot lower scores if you go sign up for our membership. And I'll show you the best way to play golf. No BS, just straight to the point, keeping it super simple, and you can go out and enjoy yourself like you never have before on the course. And we'll see you guys in the next video.